Yo, what a f***ing twist. Wait, I would have never guessed. Salutations, viewers. My name is Game Dame, and welcome back to Aviary Attorney. Right now, we're going to start our cross-examination. So I got to select a key phrase that you find suspicious, and Falcon will press the witness for information. Ask the right questions to bring the truth to light. Avoid pressing for pointless details. The judge and jury don't like having their time wasted. Select a statement to question. All right. I want to look at a rather ruthless businessman. I honestly think it probably was the Baron. He probably wanted to have more money, so he killed his business partner, and I have 0 fucking francs. I honestly think it was the Baron. We found the cigar. There's no clock, so no one knows kind of what time it was. And he wasn't in the photograph at all. So we were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Rajoulier. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Cataline. She was standing over the sliced-open corpse and Monsieur with blood on her paws. Inspector, you seem to call that Dame Cataline had blood on her paws. Correct. Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict. Whose blood was it? Ha! What a question. It was Monsieur Gomis, of course. How can you be so sure? Oh, I object. This line of questioning is absurd. There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon. The blood on Dame Cataline's paws have only belonged to one person, Monsieur Gomis. Judge, Falcon trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions. Ugh. I do not, Your Honor. Wait, Falcon, you're onto something. I am? Yes, I can sense it. Look through your evidence. Maybe there's something there can give you a clue. Ugh, I'm not sure where this is going, but I'll try anyways. My evidence? The steak! Bloody rare steak! Yes, I do. I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Cataline's paws had nothing to do with the murder. This is foolish time wasting off Falcon. If the blood on Dame Cataline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from? Came from the... On the evening of the murder, Dame Cataline ate a bloody rare steak. Is this true, Monsieur Robbington? Well, I'm in the matter of speaking. I suppose steak may have been on the menu. Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Well, don't answer that, Inspector. It is a possibility. No! Intriguing, pretty convincing. You gained a little favor with the jury. So, Inspector Volotry, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater? Now, just hold on a minute, Falcon. You are overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Cataline is an eggless, bourgeois kitten. She was no doubt brought up with flawless etiquette and perfect table manners. The banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. How could she have possibly gotten blood on the paws? Oh, that is a good question. At least it would be... but it happened something was missing from the particular banquet, but something that forced Dame Cataline to eat it with her paws. Dame Cataline was forced to eat the steak with her paws because the silverware of the household had been previously stolen. Stolen? I don't recall any mention of that in the police report. We weren't aware of anything missing from the Rojoulier residence when we performed the initial investigation. But as it happened, Roger approached us about the very subject last night. Ah! Innocent, perhaps? What a twist! You gain the favor of the jury. A little favor within the jury. What is the meaning of all of this? You know exactly where this is going, Judge Maxime. Bloody steak, misplaced silverware. Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report? Lax my investigation? Judge, I assure you I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force. Then it is amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all. Oh dear. Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case. Fine, so be it, messieurs, until next time. Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready. Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon, let's see, Monsieur Robito Rubinio, the photographer who attended the banquets of the night of the murder. Monsieur Robito Rubinio, please approach the stand and recite the oath. How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and fear, without fear, to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. It's a little cliche, but to be perfectly honest. Could the witness please introduce himself to the court record? As if anyone in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me. I am the great Monsieur Robito Robinho, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't take the people's pictures, I capture the very essence de l'outil artiste, tout es pipe. You may have seen my works in hit magazines in the branche or Sachuettes. I send you tweets if you like. I can send you what? What on earth is a tweet? What on earth is a tweet? Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon. It's the 19th century. It gets with the times already. Yes, your works are very impressive, Monsieur Rubino, but let's just get down to business. Could you tell us your activities were on the night of the murder? Very well. I was hired by Baron Rajoulier to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 in the evening. I pointed my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed Baron Rajoulier and left. Like a true artist. And with regards to the photograph itself, what did you photograph? I thought I bought a copy so you could see all for yourselves. Oh, very cool. Let's take a closer look. No! That is not the photo. In the middle, we see Baron Rajoulier, the lion who hosted the event. On the left, we see Signor Pierre Dumont, the father of the defendant Dame Cataline. And finally, we see the housemaid Colune Duhat, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, 2 people are clearly absent from the photo. The first victim, Monsieur Gunwi, and the second defendant, Dame Cataline de Maud. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree? Wait a moment. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others? That doesn't mean they were in the garden together at that point. Hold your horses, Falcon. I am not done yet. The prosecution may continue. Behind the photograph subjects, we see a wall clock with the time set to 7:30. Now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Volatry told us earlier, there was the exact time of the murder took place. Do you see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Cataline herself. Falcon, something is fishy in the jail cell. Dame Cataline, she told us she was present when the photo took place, but I don't see in Rubino's photograph. That's true, but I can see Dame Cataline as evidence. It has too little weight. I want to prove that Monsieur Rubino's photograph is not valid piece of evidence. I will have to dish out the evidence. The hands! Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness. Very well, the defense may proceed. It's a waste of time if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence. There are no hands in the photo. One magnificent photograph, then I build Baron Rajoulier and left. I think it has something to do with time. You say you arrived at 7 o'clock, give or take a couple minutes. How do you know that you arrived at 7? Well, the clock in the house read 6:45 when I left, and the walk of the Chateau Crenier was around 15 minutes. I don't claim to be flawless timekeeper, but I'm professional. I always like to stick to an appointment. Yes. How long did it take you to set up your camera? It took perhaps 25 minutes to find a shooting location, put together a camera, and ready to film. So you arrived at 7. The photograph took place at 7:30, and you spent 25 minutes setting up. For these 5 minutes unaccounted for. I mean, no. What do I have in my evidence? I am. I must certainly the description of Muscle Tumbo in the case. I see, but that still leaves 3 minutes remaining. Damn it! Yes, I have it. I do. How do you know? Yeah, let's take a closer look at this photograph. Okay, this is where it was. I see a mistake in the photograph. Just to clarify, Monsieur Mobino, photographs are a direct reflection of reality, are they not? That is correct. The photograph process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies. This is most curious because I see a mistake. A mistake? Impossible. I just told you, Monsieur, the camera is perfect, unbiased device. The photographs it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Could you, be more certainly. Click on the area of the photo. Yes, the fucking clock. The clock in the photograph, there is something not right about it. Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates. Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Rappington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock in that picture. The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6. That much is self-evidence. Which is most curious because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Crania has no hands. But, it has no hands. The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Ruggiero or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Rubino, how do you explain this discrepancy? I don't know. There must be some sort. My camera is flawless. There is no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world. Maybe it was the error in the printing process. An error precisely where the clock's hand should be. Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, monsieur, edited this photograph. Edited? I'm no expert, but I can see that you used paint or ink to carefully put the hands upon the clock. It would have been a simple task, considering that the clock face was bare. One could even speculate to choose to include a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process. Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing? It is not obvious. By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photograph subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Rubino created a perfect alibi. Oh, shit! Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting, and why? Was Monsieur Rubino coerced, bribed, threatened? Enough silence. Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Rubino. Fine, you've got me. I'm guilty. I did it all. You did it? You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Grenouille? What? No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and yes, that included adding hands to the clock. You were ordered by whom? I dare not say. Monsieur Rubino, I strongly advise you to answer the defense's question. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all. With respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names. His claws? Did you hear that, Falcon? That is most unfortunate. Monsieur Rubino, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We do not live under Ancien Regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence that we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness, take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course. I can't protest. This is at least I deserve in failure as an artiste. Good day, messieurs. Intriguing. Pretty convincing. You gained a little favor. We got it back, boys. So the clock's hands were painted on, so what? It doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Catalina as absent close to the time. That's significant. Don't be dense, Monsieur Rapitin. If the photograph is not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence. Why not? Still portrayal of the night's events. Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were too. It is possible that Dame Catalina was painted out. Even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover up for someone else, so all possibilities must be accounted for. So what are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Senor Pertor de Mal, perhaps? I don't think so. The housemaid lacks the means or motive, and it wouldn't make sense for Senor Pertor to implicate his own daughter. Well, surely you're not suggesting the honest and beloved Baron Rojulia deliberately tried to frame Dame Cataline, because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing. Monsieur Rappington, I'm not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, the prosecutor. However, mayhaps I should offer my opinion. Oh, Rojulier! Oh, baby, he has entered the ring. He must pay for his crimes. Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet. So you would think, prosecutor, and yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence. Incompetence? Indeed, let us proceed with the witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge? Yes, I suppose that's fine. Very good, and I trust the defense has no objections. No objections here. Fantastic! But before I forget, I please you speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. The prosecutor asked me what I witnessed over the course of the evening. Baron Rajulia, the one night of the initial dinner went magnificently. When the photograph arrived, Monsieur Grenouille left to visit the garden. Dame Cataline followed behind him moments later. Senor Petro, Monsieur Mabino, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid her no mind. After the photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Grenouille and Dame Cataline. That would be when I heard her cry for help. Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there. I would like to cross-examine the witness. Do you doubt my integrity, Garçon? I'm just here to uncover the truth, Baron. Very well. Hit me with your best shots. Let us establish with absolute certainty that I, Baron Julia, am an honest man. I must... Yes, okay, so what do I want to cross-examine it on? The cigar. The dinner went magnificently. A photograph arrived. Left to visit the garden. My housemaid discovered the pair. So I want to talk about the garden. We saw the murder scene you caught in for ourselves. What's with all the horses? Baron Rochelier, when the last time you ventured into your own garden? As it happens, I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been in my garden for years. Years, you say? Indeed. That's not right. Baron, I do not wish to call you a liar, but that claim does not hold up to scrutiny. Oh, and why is that? Because we have hard evidence that you have visited the garden recently. Balderdash, my word is gold. Show the court this so-called hard evidence that I have in my garden. This was found in your garden, to be specific, and found inside the fountain basin. Right beside where the murder occurred. A cigar butt? That is, that could belong to anybody, and... Prosecutor, please shut your mouth. I can speak for myself. Okay, sorry, Baron. That is indeed remnants of one of my cigars, but I must apologize, Monsieur Falcon, for I misunderstood your initial question. You see, prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my own garden in years, but naturally, after hearing the housemaid's cry for help in the evening to the murder, I rushed outside. I was shocked and disgusted by what I saw. That must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar in the fountain basin. You see, Falcon, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation. I would find that believable if the cigar were casually discarded, but as it happens, the cigar butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that can only be accessed with great inconvenience and a little paddling. The cigar butt was not dropped, it was deliberately hidden. There are any number of possible explanations, are there? But because I can only think of one. That is, you, Baron Rochelier, deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities. Did I now? And what illicit activities would those be? You want me to spell it out? Fine, let's put everything on the table. You, Baron Rochelier, murdered Monsieur Grenouille. That is what you were trying to keep hidden. Directly accusing me of murder? How shameless, brazen! That is ludicrous accusation, Falcon. The Baron is an upstanding citizen of the highest order. Your allegation is baseless. You have no evidence, no means, motive, or opportunity. No evidence? Think harder, Monsieur Robington. Every piece of evidence points to Baron Rochelier as the prime suspect. You want the means? The Baron certainly had the means. His lion's claws are as sharp as a surgeon's blades. Cutting a frog belly would be trivial to him. Even Monsieur Rubino confessed just moments ago that he feared his claws. Ridiculous. I would never threaten a man with violence. You want a motive? The Baron had at least 10,000 francs worth of motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's share of his railway company increased from 1/3 to 1/2. That is preposterous. And finally, the Baron had an opportunity. No, he crafted the perfect opportunity. He arranged a small banquet with a very select number of guests. He was aware of the missing silverware, and yet he served a steak of food items as necessities, good cutlery. Why? To bloody the hands of his guests, of course. Then he hired an easily influenced photographer and staged a very specific picture in order to build a perfect alibi for himself. Photographing the guests in front of the handless clock to make it easier for editing is quite an ingenious plan, that must be said. Prosecutor, just gonna let some slanderous yarn go uncontested. Say something, object! Oh, you're pitifully useless. After executing the murder, the Baron found himself still holding a single piece of incriminatory evidence. He finished his cigar. He knew that leaving it at the crime scene would raise suspicion, but he didn't have time to properly dispose of it. So out of desperation, he threw it into his fountain, out of sight of his guests of any snooping police. I imagine the Baron was hoping to implicate Senor Couture somehow, since that would ensure total control of his railway company. Also last, Dame Cataline was the first to happen upon the crime scene, so the Baron improvised. This is an outrage, Judge. I demand that you disbar this ranting lunatic. No, there is only outrage here, one outrage here. That is that a man like yourself is able to abuse his wealth and status to frame an innocent girl for murder. You are a bourgeois of the worst kind. How dare you say garçon? The utter nerve for a lying scumbag of a lawyer to accuse a philanthropist like myself of something so heinous. I'm nothing like that fat cat bourgeois. I am a respectable, hard-working capitalist. No, you're the ruthless man who would slaughter a dear friend just to reap a few francs. Well, I ought to gut you right here now, like a damned frog. Oh shit! Could someone please restrain the Baron? I couldn't even do an accent. I'm on it, Tiana! Let's go, old man. The concierge is with you. Don't touch me, you filthy jackdaw. I can walk myself. That is quite a turn of events. Does the prosecution have anything to add? Well, in matter of speaking, well, not to be honest, no. Then I shall not confer with the members of the jury to come to a decision. I ask all the animals in the court to please be patient in this time. Oh my god. My throat can't handle it right now with all of this stuff I'm doing. Falcon, that was pretty incredible. Thank you. I just hope it was enough. What do you mean? You just proved CATTERRLLINNNEEEE's innocence? We'll get a not guilty verdict for sure. Sparrow-san, I think you've misunderstood something important about the justice system. I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It's just not possible. All we can do is organize the evidence and convincingly explain what it suggests. I haven't proved Dame CATTERRLLINNNEEEE's innocence. All I've done is demonstrate that there is a significant possibility that she is not guilty. I'm not sure I understand the difference. We have reached a decision. In light of recent revelations, it is clear that an error of judgment was made in the initial arrest. On that note, we unanimously find the defendant, Dame CATTERRLLINNNEEEE, to be not guilty. Yay! We got a not guilty verdict for Dame CATTERRLLINNNEEEEE. Monsieur Falcon, Petite Sparrow-san, you did it. Yeah, I suppose we did, didn't we? We should head back to the office so we can celebrate properly. You did it, Falcon. I can't take all the credit. This was a group achievement. I'm so proud of you both. I'll get 1 bottle of wine and 3 for at least dirty glasses. You were amazing, Monsieur Falcon. Oh, it was nothing. I very much like the way you pinned the murder on the Baron. That was an act of sheer genius. Well, I didn't pin anything. Sparrow-san and I just worked on unveiling the truth given the facts of the case. Monsieur Falcon, there's no need to play coy. The case is over. Play coy? Don't tell me you're actually being sincere. I'm completely lost. Oh, wow. I thought the goody-goody thing was an act, but you actually don't know. She actually did it! I murdered Monsieur Gunui. She really fucking did! I saw him in the garden all drunk and vulnerable, and I seized my opportunity. It was nothing personal, just business, you understand? Business? To increase my papa's share in the train company, of course. My papa always said that the drunk old frog was the weakest link. Your confession doesn't make any sense. I found Baron Rojulier's cigar butt hidden in the garden. Oh, I put that there. I expected the police to find it, but I suppose that was putting too much faith in the brains of Paris's finest. But Falcon proved that Monsieur Rubino's photograph was edited. He was. I wasn't in the picture because I was busy paying visit to Monsieur Gunui in the garden. My papa knew I needed an alibi, so he ordered Monsieur Rubino to paint me over Baron Rojoulier to add hands to the clock. But that lazy artist didn't manage to finish altering the photo by trial day. It was a good thing that Monsieur Falcon was so imaginative, because that could have gone very badly. Yo, what a fucking twist! Wait, I would have never guessed that she actually killed him. What's with this silence? You should both be proud. There are many lawyers in all of France who could have won a case like this, even for a Bourgeois kitty like me. I think you should leave. Fine, so much for celebrations. Here's the payment for your services, straight from my papa's pockets. Well, adieu, Monsieur Falcon. Adieu, Petit Sparrow-san. What do we do? What the fuck do we do now, honestly? Falcon. Damn. I would like to continue, but that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am blown away as to that fucking thing that happened, to be quite honest. I was just... mind is blown that she actually killed him. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a fabulous day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.